యుద్ధం ఇది మేధాయుద్ధం, మేధావుల మధ్య జరిగే భీకర పోరాటం. యుద్ధం ఇది మేధాయుద్ధం, మేధావుల మధ్య జరిగే భీకర పోరాటం. రాజు మంత్రి ఏనుగొంటె సిపాయులను కదిలిస్తూ, జిరాఫీ గుర్రాలను ఎగిరిస్తూ. రాజు మంత్రి ఏనుగొంటె సిపాయులను కదిలిస్తూ, జిరాఫీ గుర్రాలను ఎగిరిస్తూ. గెలుపు కొరకు ఆడే నవ భారతమేదో పోరాటం. జిరాఫీ చెస్సు మేధాయుద్ధం, జిరాఫీ చెస్సు మేధాయుద్ధం. యుద్ధం 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 ఇది మేధాయుద్ధం, మేధావుల మధ్య జరిగే భీకర పోరాటం.
Fighting with the swords gone, playing with the brain on. Let's play Giraffe Chess Hattrick League Season 3.
International Giraffe Chess Federation presents Hattrick League Season 3 between 10 Proddatur teams. Hello everyone, welcome to India's new 68 squared Giraffe Chess Academy Proddatur, and welcome to the live telecast of no draws, no resigns, only win or lose in just 70 moves Giraffe Chess Hattrick League 2024 Season 3. Let us watch Hattrick League 9th match between Proddatur Lions versus Proddatur Jaguars. Each team consists of 3 players. Whoever team all outs opponent all 3 players is the match winners. Let us see the toss at the center of the court.
Now, head is the call from Proddatur. Oh, Lions. Takes toss won by the Proddatur Jaguars. Proddatur Jaguars won the toss and elected to play first game on black side.
And in toss, Proddatur Jaguars team won the toss and opted to play on black side. And here is the both teams lineup. For Proddatur Jaguars team, Vignesh is the opener and Sinu is the second player, and Nandan Sai comes to play as third player. And for Proddatur Lions team, Ram Charan is the opener and Dinesh is the second player, and Lohit comes to play as third player. Now let us watch first game of the match between Proddatur Lions team opening player Ram Charan Nayak versus Proddatur Jaguars team opening player Vignesh. Let us see among these 2 players who will win this game and who will do hat-trick and who will be the hat-trick hero of today's great match. Let us watch. Let us move on to the court. Little Scholar awardee Proddatur Lions team opening player Ram Charan Nayak is ready to play on white side. Let us see on other side of the court, one-time hat-trick hero, best scholar awardee Proddatur Jaguars team opening player Vignesh is ready to play on black side. Now we can see both players are ready to start game 1 of the match. Black side player Vignesh is ready to hit the clock. Yes, he hit the clock. Game 1 started.
Pawn to e4, pawn to d6, bishop to c4, knight to f6, pawn to f4, knight capture pawn to e4, knight to e2, bishop to e6, bishop to d3, knight to f6, pawn to f5, bishop to d7, knight to f4, pawn to e6, Pawn capture pawn to e6. Giraffe capture pawn to e6. Knight capture giraffe at e6. Bishop capture knight at e6. Bishop to b5 on check to blocking. Pawn to c6. Bishop to a4. Queen to e7. Giraffe to f3. Bishop to b3. King to f1. Bishop capture bishop at a4. Giraffe to c4. Bishop to b5. Pawn to d3. Pawn to d5. Knight to a3. Bishop to a6. Pawn to b3. Pawn capture giraffe at c4. Pawn capture pawn to c4. Pawn to b6. Queen to e2. Queen capture queen at e2 and check to white king. King capture queen at e2. Giraffe to d6. Bishop to b2. Giraffe to a5. Bishop to c1. Giraffe to d4. Bishop to e3. Giraffe capture knight at a3. Giraffe to c3. Bishop to c5. Pawn to d4. Bishop capture pawn at d4. Bishop capture bishop at d4. Giraffe capture bishop at d4. King to d3. Pawn to c5. Rook to e1 and check to blocking. Giraffe capture rook at e1. Rook capture giraffe at e1 and check to blocking. King to d7. Giraffe to f4. Knight to c6. Giraffe capture pawn at g7. Rook to e8. Rook to d1. Rook to d8. Giraffe capture rook at d8. Rook capture giraffe at d8. King to e3. King to e6. King to f4. Rook capture rook at d1. King to g5. Rook to d8. King to h6. Rook to g8. Pawn to h4.
Vignesh now immediately
Rook to
moved his rook
G6
to
and check to white king
G6
and
and
it's a
set check
checkmate.
to white king. It is not only check, it is a checkmate win to Vignesh. What is superb checkmate win to Vignesh. Ram Charan out. Proddatur Lions team opening player Ram Charan out. Vignesh with this win he won the first game and still need 2 more wins to do hat-trick and become hat-trick hero of today's great match. Let us watch second game of the match between Proddatur Lions team second player Dinesh versus Proddatur Jaguars team opening player Vignesh. Let us see among these two players who will win this game and who will do hat-trick and who will be the hat-trick hero of today's great match. Among these two players, Vignesh already won the first game and now playing for winning second game. Let us watch what will happen. Let us move on to the court. Young Scholar awardee Proddatur Lions team second player Dinesh is ready to play on black side. Let us see on other side of the court. One-time hat-trick hero, best scholar awardee Proddatur Jaguars team opening player Vignesh is ready to play on white side. Now we can see both players are ready to start game 2 of the match. Black side player Dinesh is ready to hit the clock. Yes, he hit the clock. Game 2 started.
Pawn to d3. Knight to f6. Knight to f3. Pawn to d6. Pawn to e3. Pawn to e5. Pawn to e4. Pawn to d5. Pawn capture pawn at d5. Knight capture pawn at d5. Queen to e2. Knight to f4. Bishop capture knight at f4. Queen to e7. Queen capture pawn at e5. Queen capture queen at e5 and check to white king. Bishop capture queen at e5. pawn to f6, bishop capture pawn at c7, knight to d7, knight to c3, bishop to b4, bishop to e2, bishop capture knight at c3 and check to white king, giraffe capture bishop at c3, pawn to f5, castling at king side, giraffe to f6, bishop to f4, knight to c5, rook to e1, bishop to d7, giraffe to b1, king to f7, pawn to d4, knight to e6, bishop to e5, pawn to b5, pawn to a3, pawn to a5, giraffe to d0, rook to c8, pawn to c3, pawn to b4, pawn capture pawn at b4, pawn capture pawn at b4, pawn to d5, knight to c7, pawn capture, pawn at b4, knight capture, pawn at d5, rook to c1, knight capture, pawn at b4, rook capture, rook at c8, bishop capture, rook at c8, bishop to c4 and check to black king, bishop to e6, bishop capture, bishop at e6, giraffe capture, bishop at e6, bishop to d6, giraffe to e9, bishop capture, knight at b4, rook to d8, giraffe to d4, e4, giraffe to f6, knight to e5 and check to black king, king to e8, giraffe capture, giraffe at f6, pawn capture, giraffe at f6, knight to c6, rook to c8, knight to d4, rook to b8, knight capture, giraffe at e6, rook capture, bishop at b4, pawn to h3, king to e7, knight to c5, rook capture, pawn at b2, knight to d3, rook to d2, knight to f4, king to d6, king to h2, king to e5, knight to e2, king to e4, knight to c1, king to d4, king to g3, king to c3, knight to e2 and check to black king, king to c2, king to f3, rook to d1, knight to d4 and check to blocking, king to c1,
Now we can see Dinesh is just one step
King
away
to
to win
E2,
by crowning. Yes, he moved
king
his
to d0,
king to
crowning win.
d0 and won the game by crowning. What a superb crowning win to Dinesh. Dinesh, he won the first game. Vignesh out. Proddatur Jaguars team lost the first player. And Dinesh, with this win, he won the first game and still need 2 more wins to do hat-trick and become hat-trick hero of today's great match. And big disappointment to the Vignesh. Now, let us watch third game of the match between Proddatur Lions team opening player Dinesh versus Proddatur Jaguars team last player Srinu. Let us see among these two players who will win this game and who will do hat-trick and who will be the hat-trick hero of today's great match. Among these two players, Dinesh already won continuously 2 games and now playing third game for doing hat-trick. Let us see what will happen. Let us move on to the court. Young Scholar awardee Proddatur Lions team opening player Dinesh is ready to play on right side. Let us see on other side of the court. One-time hat-trick hero, best scholar awardee Proddatur Jaguars team last player Sinu is ready to play on black side. Now we can see both players are ready to start game 3 of the match. Black side player Srinu is ready to hit the clock. Yes, he hit the clock. Game 3 started.
pawn to f4, pawn to e6, pawn to d3, pawn to f6, pawn to e4, pawn to d6, pawn to d4, knight to h6, pawn to e5, pawn to f5, pawn capture pawn at d5, queen capture pawn at d6, knight to f3, bishop to e7, pawn to c4, pawn to b6, pawn to d5, pawn capture pawn at d5, queen capture pawn at d5, queen to b4 and check to white king, bishop to d2, queen capture pawn at b2, queen to b5 and check to white black king, bishop to d7, queen capture queen at b2, bishop to f6, bishop to c3, bishop capture bishop at c3, queen capture bishop at c3, knight to c6, knight to e5, king to d8, knight capture knight at c6 and check to black king, rook to e8 illegal, knight to e5 illegal, rook to h8 illegal, bishop capture knight at c6, pawn to c5, rook to e8 and check to white king, bishop to e2, bishop capture pawn to g2, rook to g1, bishop to h3, rook capture pawn at g7, bishop to g4, giraffe to h1, pawn capture pawn at c5, queen capture pawn at c5, bishop to h5, rook capture pawn at h7, bishop capture bishop at e2,
Dinesh
queen capture
immediately
pawn
captured
at
a pawn
c7
at
and check to
c7
black king,
and said check
and it's
to
a
black king.
checkmate.
It is not only check, it is a checkmate win to Dinesh. What a superb checkmate win to Dinesh. Srinu out. Proddatur Jaguars team lost the second player. Dinesh, with this win, he won continuously 2 games and still need one more win to do hat-trick and become hat-trick hero of today's great match. Now, let us watch 4th game of the match between Proddatur Lions team second player Dinesh versus Proddatur Jaguars team last player Nandan Soy. Let us see who will win this game. If Dinesh wins this game, it will be hat-trick to the Dinesh and he will be the hat-trick hero of today's great match. If Nandan Soy wins this game, match will be tied with 2-all games and go for 5th game for result. Let us move on to the court. Young Scholar awardee Proddatur Lions team second player Dinesh is ready to play on black side. Let us see on other side of the court. Best Scholar awardee Proddatur Jaguars team last player Nandan Sai is ready to play on white side. Now we can see both players are ready to start game 4 of the match. Black side player Dinesh is ready to hit the clock. Yes, he hit the clock. Game 4 started.
Pawn to e3, knight to f6, knight to f3, bishop to b6, knight to c3, bishop to b7, bishop to e2, bishop capture knight to f3, giraffe capture bishop to f3, pawn to d5, castling at king side, knight to e4, knight capture knight to e4, pawn capture knight to e4, giraffe to c4, queen to d5, pawn to b3, pawn to e6, pawn to f3, bishop to d6, rook to e1, queen to e5, pawn to f4, queen to f6, giraffe to b7 and check to black king, king to e7, pawn to g4, pawn to e5, pawn to g5, queen to g6, pawn to d3, pawn capture pawn at f4, pawn capture pawn at f4, pawn to f6, bishop to h5, bishop to c5 and check to white king, pawn to d4, bishop capture pawn at d4, queen capture bishop to b4, queen capture bishop at h5, king to g2, queen to f3 and check to white king, king to g1, rook to d8, giraffe to c3, rook capture queen at d4, rook to e2, rook to d1 and check to white king, rook to e1,
Now Dinesh
Rook capture
Now
rook at
Dinesh
e1
immediately
and check
captured
to
rook
white
at
king
e1 and
it's a
set check
checkmate.
to white king. It is not only check, it is a checkmate win to Dinesh. What a superb checkmate win to Dinesh. Nandan Sai out. Proddatur Jaguars team last player Nandan Sai out. With this out, Jaguars team all out and lost the match. And Dinesh, he won continuously 3 games and did hat-trick and became hat-trick hero of today's great match. This is his first hat-trick in Hattrick League. Congratulations, debut hat-trick hero Dinesh. And
Hello everyone. Just now we watched one more hat-trick in Hattrick League. Giraffe Chess Hattrick League. Extraordinary play from the Dinesh, who is here. Congratulations, Hattrick hero Dinesh. Now let us take the small interview. Before that, for hat-trick from on behalf of International Giraffe Chess Federation, let me hand over the 500 rupees cash to Dinesh. Very good. Now, I would like to ask you few questions. Okay, you played very well. That too, within 99 moves, just 99 moves, he did hat-trick. The first player he out is Vignesh by checkmate, by crowning 49 moves. He out Vignesh by crowning in 49 moves. In that game, do you feel any tension? Why? Because of Vignesh is very good player, outstanding player, isn't it? So what is the best move? So he is telling that because of correct and accurate and fast move makes to him against a big player winning. And the second game is Srinu by checkmate 25 moves. That is the another player. So Dinesh out by checkmate in just 25 moves. So in that game, Srinu is also very good player. Already he did one hat-trick in Hattrick League 1. So without having very much experience about that player, which is the great move that makes you win? Very good. So Srinu unnecessarily without looking the powers, he has moved another piece. That is the reason winning of the second game. Let us know the third and important one, that is very crucial for doing hat-trick. He played Nandan Sai. He is also a very good player with checkmate by 25 moves only. All these by 99 moves he did very good hat-trick. Let me know, do you feel any tension by playing the third game? Why? Because of continue first game and second game and third game, isn't it? So which is the best move? So it shows that Dinesh attacking of his powers makes him hat-trick hero in the 17th match. Finally, I would like to ask you a small question. Whom you dedicate this hat-trick hero title?
To my father.
So what's his name? Ramana. So his dad encouraged him to participate in a hat-trick league.
And finally, here is the today's hat-trick hero, Dinesh scorecard. In game 1, he outs Vignesh by crowning in 49 moves. In game 2, he outs Srinu by checkmate in 25 moves. In game 3, he outs Nandan Sai by checkmate in just 25 moves. So finally he did hat-trick in just 99 moves. Congratulations, hat-trick hero Dinesh, and all the best for the next matches. And here is the points table of Hattrick League 2024 Season 3 after 9 matches. Let us see top 4 teams. Proddatur Chirita's team with 4 points, it is in first position. Proddatur Kings team with 2 points, it is in second position. Proddatur Panthers team with 2 points, it is in third position. Proddatur Lions with 2 points, it is in fourth position. Based upon the moves of the winning match taken consideration, so these 4 teams are in top position. Remaining also, they won one match with 2 points, but they are lesser. They won the match with more moves than the above 4 teams. Anyhow, top 4 teams qualify for the
యుద్ధం ఇది మేధాయుద్ధం, మేధావుల మధ్య జరిగే భీకర పోరాటం. యుద్ధం ఇది మేధాయుద్ధం, మేధావుల మధ్య జరిగే భీకర పోరాటం. రాజు మంత్రి ఏనుగొంటె సిపాయులను కదిలిస్తూ, జిరాఫీ గుర్రాలను ఎగిరిస్తూ. రాజు మంత్రి ఏనుగొంటె సిపాయులను కదిలిస్తూ, జిరాఫీ